welcome to your March collective pick a card reading. I hope you guys all are well. I hope you guys made it out of the retrograde alive. Say hello to Ruby. She's in the back sleeping. So I just wanted to do a quick little intro before we get into the different piles for your reading this March. I will say, for me, this retrograde was, it was a very revealing and telling one. And I think now going into March, I keep hearing birth, but it doesn't feel quite like birth just yet. It's almost like it's like I hear death and birth, dying to be born, right? And it's interesting because it's not the typical season for that, but at the same time it kind of is too, because we're in Pisces season, which is the final zodiac of the astrological calendar before we go into Aries season, which is like the new year, right? And in tarot, the world represents the end of the fool's journey and the end of a culmination of lessons within a karmic cycle before it repeats itself and we go back to the fool, which is the beginning of the fool's journey. So I've already pre-shuffled 3 different piles for the collective. Before I get into those piles for you guys to choose from, the way I read, I like to look at the bottom of the decks because to me, they really signify like foundational aspects that are most likely usually in the past that is directly affecting the situation at hand right now. Or it could just also be underlying influences that might be more subconscious or that we're not as aware of, that are directly affecting what we're going through right now and possibly the future. So tapping into the collective energy, I've felt like my eyes have been feeling very, not even necessarily low, more like sensitive. Like my eyes feel very sensitive, and I actually got sleep last night. So my eyes feel sensitive. I felt like the sense of bodily peace, like wanting to be still, wanting to be quiet, just kind of wanting to go through the motions of the day in like a quiet, like reflective state of being and mind. Like, yeah, like just kind of taking things slowly as they come. And at the same time, the mind has been a little harder to quiet, but it's not necessarily that it's erratic either. It's just like there's things to think about, there's things to reflect on, and there's this feeling of like, okay, we gotta keep doing what we're doing, but let's be more mindful. Let's be more mindful of what we're doing and really integrating all of the lessons, all of the realizations that have come from this past retrograde. And we are still in the post retrograde season. So basically, we're out of the intensity of Mercury retrograde, but now the post shadow is reflecting on the lessons that were learned. So did you really get the lesson? Things might pop back up that happened over the retrograde to see if you really did learn the lesson and how you're going to act differently now that you've already gone through it the first time. And to understand how to integrate that information, like I said. So bottom of the deck, we had pain, we have sadness and isolation, and we have beyond illusion. I also see the outsider here, share the love, and self-care. So yeah, I feel like a lot of us might be feeling alone in whatever it is that we're doing or whatever it is that we're feeling, whether you feel alone in the workplace, whether you feel alone in your home, like maybe you're the only one that's being a homemaker, you're the only one that's caring and providing for everyone, or you feel left out of something, or somebody made you, like somebody left you out. Somebody didn't include you. That's what I just heard. But us being alone is an illusion. We're never alone. We always have ourselves. We always have our higher selves. We always have our higher power. So those are the underlying energies. I think there is a need for self-care before we share any type of love with anyone or anything. Because usually when you feel left out and you feel isolated and you feel sad and you feel separate and you feel like, you know, you're not included in things, what you're really needing is yourself. You don't need outside people to validate you or to include you. You know what I mean? That isolated feeling usually comes from not getting what you need, and you're the only person who can ultimately give you what you need at the end of the day. So I just wanted to say that. Let's get into the piles. Pile 1, we have this opal point. So meditate and see, you know, if you're really feeling this opal, if you're really drawn to the number 1. This is pile 1. Pile 2 is this rose quartz. So if you're drawn to number 2 or this rose quartz, that's the pile for you. Pile 3 is this Labradorite. So meditate on that and see if you're drawn to it, or number 3. All right, I will see you guys in your separate readings. Hi, pile 1. This is for everyone that chose the opal. Pile 1, this is you. I have not seen these cards. I pre-shuffled and kept them face down. So we have this for your overall theme. Ooh. Throat chakra. So pile 1 for March, you are being asked to really work on your throat chakra, to balance it out, to utilize it, to really get in tune and in touch with your truth, to get in tune with your higher wisdom, your truth, your divine insight, and to express it in a healthy, balanced way. For your challenge, we have intensity. It's a beautiful card. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to go in and clarify your challenge for the month with my Divine Tarot deck. So Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please tell me about intensity for pile 1 in March for the highest good and the highest good of all. Please show me clearly, Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, what does pile 1 need to know about their challenge of intensity for the month of March. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please show me clearly. Okay. One more, please. Okay, got it. Bottom of the deck, we have 4 of coins. And to clarify, we have the 4 of cups, the 3 of wands, and judgment. So I'm gonna need y'all to speak up. I feel like pile 1, you guys have been holding back. You guys have been holding back. I feel like you've been holding back. You've been holding back what you know you need to say. And I think it's because you feel so much intensity around what you're realizing. Give me a second. I'm getting the sense that pile one, you guys have been, it's like you guys have been waiting for something, or you guys have been preoccupied with what's in front of you. And it's not necessarily like what you needed. It wasn't necessarily what you needed. And I think you were so focused on it because it looked good. Because it looked good, and because you were in this space possibly of being afraid to change, being afraid to let go of the truth that wasn't serving you anymore. Holding on to something so tight because you're so used to it, and because for so long you thought that it was bringing you what you needed, but it really wasn't. Like, if you see this card, the main character is so drawn to the birds in these gold chalices, but those birds aren't real. They aren't real. Look at the one behind him in the window. A real one that's actually singing a song to him, trying to get his attention. The cup that it's on is not gold, but that's the cup that he actually needs. That's the song he actually needs to hear. And he's too preoccupied with fake birds. Ah! That was pun not intended, but it came out. So I think you've been preoccupied with some birds, pile one. I think you're realizing you've been dealing with some birds that they haven't been singing you the song that you really needed to hear. They haven't been telling you what you really needed to know, or they haven't been singing at all. They just look good, but they're just some fake birds. And it has you looking and searching for something still, because you're not actually getting anything of substance in what you needed from this situation. And it's got you intensely searching for what it is that you really need. And you're looking out on the horizon. You're looking towards the future. It's like you're waiting for something to come in, and it was there all along, but you couldn't see it because you were afraid, or because you were comfortable in where you were at. And you're being called to make a judgment call here. You're being called to exercise better judgment, to atone for your sins. Yeah, okay. So this intensity, that's your challenge for this month, pile one. This intensity that's here, I think you're intensely searching for something other than where you're at. Intensely looking for some type of gratification, or for someone or something to swoop in and save you. It's like you're searching. Look at all of these characters, intensely moving forward. This character is charging forward. Look at how their colors are just streaming after them because of how fast they're moving. Look at how intent their face is in the direction that they're going. This character just intensely climbing up this ladder. Look at her face. Frustrated, determined. Not even looking at where she's placing her feet, just looking at what's in front of her and how she has to keep moving forward. Look at this character in the Judgment card. Looking into the beyond, looking into the future, looking up at this lotus up there, the reckoning. I think you guys are so concerned with what's coming for you, And you guys have been like really thinking that this thing is going to come in and like save you. I'm hearing that, but really you've had what you needed all along and you just weren't paying attention to it. And so, okay, I got it, heard. Okay, yes. So that's why you're being called, your overall theme for this month is throat chakra. That's why you're being called to tap into your higher wisdom, to tap into your truth, to really balance the way you express yourself. Because I think you guys have been really intense with the way you've been talking to people, the way you've been dealing with people, maybe even the way you've been talking to yourself. Like, oh, what I have right now, like, you know, it's cool, it's good, but really you're still looking for something else. Really, you're still wanting something of more substance, of more value. You want change, you want growth, you want a new lease on life. Because the stuff you've been preoccupying yourself with, it's got you bored, quite frankly. It was nice at first. Things were shiny and new, but by you being preoccupied with all the shiny and new, you missed out on something that was important, that was here, and that was actually going to give you what you needed because you were so intensely looking for it in front of you and elsewhere. And you're being called to recoup and make a better judgment call now. But the way you have to go about it is by staying present. This is your advice for March, Pile 1. Stay present. Like, when you are fully present, you don't miss opportunities. He's not present. He's over here just with the 3 fake cups, with the 3 shiny cups and the fake birds. When you're fully present, you hear, see everything that's going on around you. This is the only bird that can chirp. This is the only real bird. How can you not hear the real bird's song when you're dealing with fake birds? It's because you wasn't paying attention, or you weren't being in tune with your own truth. Ooh, I just heard this too. For some of you, I'm getting, you weren't expressing yourself. You were just kind of allowing all the other fake birds. I'm going to keep saying it because it's just so loud. You were just allowing yourself to be drowned out by all the fake birds around you, that you weren't even expressing your real truth. And this, I feel like, could be a metaphor for your real voice that you pushed to the back burner, to be drowned out and overwhelmed and consumed by the fake birds. And now you're like intensely looking for your own voice, like waiting for it to come in, searching for it, searching. And the only way you're going to tune into your truth, to your true self-expression, and be able to express it in a direct, clear, healthy, balanced way is to stay present. It's not by searching intensely for something outside of yourself or something other than where you're at, something in the future. Like, no, it's right here. It's been right here all along, right in your window, chirping at you, singing to you. But you've been too busy being preoccupied with fake birds, climbing like endless ladders in search for something, waiting for something outside of yourself, waiting for something in the future to happen when the present has everything you need. When presently you're being asked to look at yourself, to look at your own actions that have gotten you here, to feeling like you haven't been seen or heard and your wants and needs have gone unmet, right? Because you're still waiting. 3 of Wands. This is not content energy. 4 of Cups is not content. 4 of Cups is preoccupied, but isn't really content, because what he really needs is in the window, he's going to get bored of this stuff. It's the same old, but he's so used to it that that's all he's paying attention to. But clearly he's not fulfilled because what he needs that is real is in the window. She is not content. She's just moving. She's just moving, looking at the future, looking at what's ahead, looking at what's above her. This is not content, stable energy. So, group 1, pile 1, make a better judgment call, make a better choice moving forward in the month of March. Allow yourself to stay present. Allow yourself to just be where you're at and really get in tune with what your truth is. Yeah, I see a need to forgive yourself for something that happened in the past, possibly something that burnt you out. Something you had to recover from. Something you had to recover from that really took a lot out of you. It made you were exhausted. And I see a need to forgive yourself for it and to learn how to balance. To learn how to balance the give and take. To learn how to balance and forgive yourself for decisions that you made in the past out of fear of not having enough. Or out of fear of what you didn't know. I'm also getting the sense that maybe in the past you guys felt stuck with your situation, or with a certain outcome, a certain person, a certain thing. And so it caused you to turn your back to what it was that you actually needed because you guys missed the lesson. You missed the lesson of what was actually needed for your betterment, I'm hearing. Yeah. So there's a need. One more card. What's on top? Yeah. Free yourself. Free yourself from the thoughts that bind you. Free yourself from this idea that you don't have what you need and that it's elsewhere. Free yourself from this idea that you can't be heard or people don't hear you and people don't see you when you're surrounding yourself with fake birds. Allow yourself to be alone for a little bit and go in so that you can just hear your own voice. Because when you're preoccupied, when you're constantly in search of things in the future and just moving, you can't understand what the real lesson is. And you can't hear your own thoughts and your own truth in order to know what you're being called to do. Because this is a calling. This is a calling here. And if you're not in the space to receive, and if you're just constantly looking elsewhere, you're going to miss the calling. And you're not open to receive. Well, your challenge for this month could be not being open to receive, looking for it elsewhere, because you're all in your head having anxiety, thinking that you're incapable, you can't see a way out, or the solution that you have in mind is very narrow. It's like there's only one direction ahead, when really it's just be where you're at, stay present, be quiet so that you can hear your own voice and know how to communicate it in a balanced way. I'm also hearing, don't just charge forward and dump emotionally what you have to say on someone or the people around you, because that's too intense. Just chill out. You've always had what you needed right in front of you. You just couldn't see it because you were drowning yourself out with too many distractions, too many shiny things that weren't actually doing anything for you. And I think also accepting other people's truths over your own. So have some better self-talk with yourself, with others. It's gonna be okay. That's what I have for you, pile 1. Good luck. Hey, pile 2. This is if you chose the rose quartz. welcome to your reading. I have not seen these cards, so let's get into it. We're gonna do your overall theme for March, your challenge to overcome for March. I'm going to go in with my Tarot of the Divine deck and clarify your challenge for March, and then we also have some advice and guidance at the end. So for your overall theme, we have crown chakra. So a change in consciousness. You're being called to activate a higher consciousness, to maybe change the way that you've been viewing and perceiving things, which means a death of the ego. You're being called to tap into your higher power, your higher wisdom. I hope you're meditating, praying, whatever it is that you do, you should be doing it. For your challenge this month, we have moment to moment. Taking things as they come, not allowing yourself to wallow in the past, not allowing yourself to be confused about what to do next or juggling too much, just taking things as they come. That might be a challenge for you guys this month. Excuse me. Okay. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please show me clearly what pile 2 needs to know about their challenge for March. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please show me clearly. Please clarify moment to moment for pile 2 in March. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please show me clearly. What does pile 2 need to know about moment to moment for March? Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please show me clearly. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please show me clearly. Tell me about moment to moment, please. Okay, yeah. Very clear reading, pile 2. We have the 8 of Coins, the 3 of Wands, and we have Death. Bottom of the deck, we have 9 of Swords in reverse. 10 of Cups, 7 of Swords. Yeah, okay. Okay, pile 1 had some similar messages, but with you guys, it's a little different. You're really being called to change the way you go about your life. You're being called to change the way you think, which then, the way you think affects what you do. So by changing the way you think and your belief systems around the way you need to be moving in your day-to-day life, you then change your day-to-day life because the way you think is different. Something is being transformed here. Something is being transformed for the better. There's death here. And I really feel like it has to do with the anxieties that you guys have around your day-to-day activities, because again, your challenge is moment to moment. And in the Osho deck, this is the 2 of Pentacles, which you guys know, well, you might not, but in the traditional tarot, the 2 of Pentacles is about balance and juggling and having options and not knowing what to choose, or possibly having feeling insecure around finances, learning how to take things in stride as they come. That is your challenge for this month, group 2. We have the 8 of Coins here. And in this deck, look at this character's hands and feet from making these pentacles. Like, she's making them out of like these vines that have thorns on them. And she's working so diligently, like she won't let up. She's just really going. And look at how much pain she's in. She's crying, she's frustrated and angry. Her hands and feet are bleeding and blistered. And she's still doing it. Like, you would think that you would stop once you draw blood. But no, she's just moving forward. And this card came out for pile 1, 3 of Wands. Charging forward, looking towards the future, waiting for something to come in and save you. And it's like, no, it has to do with the way you think. It has to do with the way you are handling your day-to-day circumstances. Like, the way you've been dealing with things needs to die. It needs to end. I see cycles and karma here for your advice and guidance. So this is telling me that this could possibly be like a past life lesson for you, or just a karmic lesson for you within all of your lives, of like diligently gripping and working towards something so hard, being so pressed on, oh, what I'm getting and what I'm feeling right now is like, oh, if I keep doing this, it's going to happen for me. If I just keep doing this, if I can just focus and just really do this and not give up, and it's going to come for me. It's going to happen. Da, da, da. It's not coming. It's not happening. Because you are over here working yourself to death, and it's hurting, and you're not doing anything differently. Like, success does not have to equal pain. And with the 9 of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck here, I think you guys are really being called to let go of your anxieties and your fear regarding the future and not having enough. Not having enough. That's the consciousness that needs to, that's the higher consciousness that needs to die and change. Letting go of the belief that you're not going to have enough, that it's not going to happen for you unless you're over here working yourself to death. I'm also hearing putting a lot on your plate. Some of you might have been really putting a lot on your plate, or I'm also getting this feeling of like maybe this retrograde or this past February showed you what you really want, and you want it so bad that it's like you're gripping to it and you're not having fun with it anymore. And that's your challenge for March. Just take it moment to moment. Have fun with it. Look at this character. He's skipping rocks, and he's just taking each rock as it comes. He's not stressed if the next rock is gonna be there for his foot to land on. He's just going and having fun with it. It's almost like when a kid starts like riding a bike and they're not completely sure like what they're doing. They just know they want to be able to ride it. And as things come up, you know what I mean? They just take it as it comes. Like, you know, you start with your training wheels and then you take them off, and you have someone that kind of helps start you before you start riding. And then you go and you find your balance. So your challenge in March is to find your balance between overworking out of a fear or obligation to your future. You do not need to kill yourself for the sake of getting ahead. I'm going to say that again. You do not need to overwork or kill yourself, your joy, your fun, your mental health. You do not need to kill these things for the sake of getting ahead. It's supposed to be fun. Anything you do in life, it's supposed to be fun. And if you're not having fun, stop doing it. Obviously, we're adults, you know what I mean? You can't, like, not everything is going to be fun. You know, we all have responsibilities, but like, make a game out of it. You know, if you're in a situation that you don't really like for yourself and you feel obligated and you feel like you're stuck, you're not stuck. It's in your mind. There's always choices. There's always options. Let's as a collective, and especially as people of color, let's get out of this lack mentality that we just don't have options, that we're just condemned to a certain type of life or a certain type of situation. Obviously, you know, people of color have different sets of, you know, problems and obstacles to overcome. Absolutely. But we have our faith, we have our spirituality, we have so much here that we are trying to do for each other within this time and space throughout this lifetime, right now in particular. You know, let's call on resources. Let's call on our higher power. Let's have faith. Let's change the way we think about how things have to be so hard all the time. And, you know, even the work we do has to be, you know, so challenging and so self-deprecating. And so, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Even if you're in a position right now that isn't ideal, tell yourself, it's not my end destination. It's for right now. And you know what? Where you are right now directly sets you up for where you're going next. So if you're not grateful and having fun and finding the joy and the peace and the enlightenment in where you're at right now, whatever energy you're in right now, you're going to take it with you. It doesn't matter if you have a new job. It doesn't matter if you move to a new city. It doesn't matter if you're with a new person. If it's energy alignment and then inspired action. So get your energy aligned. Stop working yourself to the point where you're hurting yourself. Like you can enjoy work. Like you can enjoy taking steps towards your future. Don't forget the bigger picture here. Let go of what's haunting you. I feel like something has been haunting you in the past, and that's what's driving you almost mad about having to work so hard. And, you know, it's like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm seeing this, but I'm seeing someone that's like knitting, and every 2 minutes they look to see how long the scarf is. Like, just knit. Just knit because you like to knit. Like, why are you stopping your progress and like kind of like pulling yourself, dragging yourself through knitting if you're not having fun? If it's just about making the scarf. No, it's about the process of knitting. You enjoy knitting and you want to make a scarf. That takes time. You don't have to be over here meticulously knitting all freaking day. Like, it's supposed to be fun. And this is like a karmic lesson for you guys, like allowing yourself to have fun right where you're at, even if it's not an ideal place, even if you haven't reached your end goal or destination yet. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Change the way you're thinking around this. Allow yourself to be moment to moment this month. Every single time you find yourself anticipating the future, anytime you find yourself just pushing forward unnecessarily, tune into your body. Your body will tell you what it needs. Your body will tell you when it needs to rest. Your body will tell you when it needs food. Your body will tell you when it needs some extra self-care. I'm also getting this message, and this is for some of you. Stop deceiving yourselves. Stop deceiving yourselves to thinking that you have to work so hard for emotional fulfillment and love, because you don't. You do not, because you know why? It's not outside of yourself. Energy alignment and then inspired action. When you align yourself, when you find a way to feel emotionally secure, fulfilled, and just at ease with who you are, where you're at, right here, right now, that's how you attract emotional fulfillment. That's how you attract better work situations. That's how you attract better partners. That's how you attract better friends, better opportunities for yourself, because you are now in the energy, space, and frequency to accept those things, to attract those things. You have to be what you want. You have to be and feel what you want to feel and be already. I know that sounds funny, but that's how it works, guys. So I wish you guys the best, pile 2. Please do your best to stay present, to release your anxieties and fear of the future and need to charge ahead and need to overwork yourself because it's killing you and it needs to die. Allow a different consciousness, a different belief system around your work ethic and around, I'm also hearing this, change the consciousness and belief that you are only equivalent, your value is equivalent to your output. Change that because it's not serving you, it's hurting you. And just allow yourself to be in the moment and have fun this month, all right? All right, group 2, good luck. Hi, group 3. This is if you chose the Labradorite. All right. Pile 3, I have not seen any of your cards. I did pre-shuffle. We're going to do your overall theme, your challenge to overcome this month. I'm going to clarify with my Tarot of the Divine deck. And then we're going to get into your advice. They wanted to talk to y'all, group 3. They really did. You got 2 cards for your overall theme this month. We have challenging times, and we have dreams coming true. For your challenge to overcome, ooh, we have suppression. Okay. Off rip, what I'm already getting, allow yourselves to want what you want. There's nothing wrong with what you want for yourself. I'm also hearing put down any unnecessary burdens while you're on your journey to getting what it is that you want and creating what it is that you want in your life. It's heavy enough carrying ourselves and the things that we need and doing the things that we need to do to create a better life for ourselves. It is not okay to be holding on to unnecessary baggage from our past or from other people. You're only going to make the journey longer and harder for yourself. So off rip, that's what I was getting. Okay, we'll get into those later. Let me clarify suppression here. Ooh. I don't know why my face feels like this. Do you guys feel suffocated? Group 3? I don't know. I feel like y'all are having headaches. I feel like y'all are... I don't even remember the first thing I said because I'm just tapped in. Okay, let's just clarify. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please tell me about suppression for group 3. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please show me clearly what does group 3 need to know for their highest good and the highest good of all about suppression as their challenge for March. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please tell me about suppression for group 3 in March. Please show me clearly. Suffocated, that's what I said. Do you guys feel suffocated? I feel like you guys need to do some breathing exercises. I don't know. I feel very like my face feels very tight. My chest feels tight. My head started feeling funny. All right, come on, guys. I actually need to take a breath tapping into y'all's energy. All right, hold on. Let's just take a second. Okay. Breathe in with me. And out. And breathe in through your nose. Hold it. And out through your mouth. One more time, and this time when you breathe out through your mouth, I want you guys to really sigh and let it out. Okay, so breathe in through your nose. Hold it. Sigh it out. Okay, I feel better. Yeah, I feel like group 3, y'all need to do some breathing exercises. All right, again, spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please show me clearly what does group 3 need to know for their highest good and the highest good of all. Please tell me about suppression. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and guides, please tell me about suppression as group 3's challenge to overcome for the month of March. Please tell me about suppression. Okay. So you guys have the 10 of Swords in reverse, the 9 of Swords, and Justice in reverse. Bottom of the deck, we have 2 of Wands in reverse, 7 of Wands in reverse, and the Page of Cups in reverse. All right, guys. Y'all might actually really be going through it, or you guys went through it in February and you're still, the energy is still lingering around you. It's like you're trying to get out of it, but it's really difficult. There's a need to let something go in the past that didn't go according to plan. Something in the past did not go according to plan. I feel like somebody, whether this is you or someone else, somebody was very dominating, had a lack of boundaries, or they were just very dominating. Intrusive, I just heard. No. My hands are shaking. It was very childish energy you were dealing with in the past, whether this is you that was doing this or somebody else. But something didn't go according to plan because there was a lack of follow through, or there was just a lack of planning, a lack of cooperation because someone was being dominating. And it was because of their own insecurities and their own immaturity. You are being asked to release this pain. You're being asked to release this pain. You're being asked to, okay, I really feel like it's haunting you. Yeah, what I was saying about feeling like you guys couldn't breathe and you guys are like I felt like my head hurt. It's like you guys are trying to move forward, but there's still this lingering energy around you of feeling like things were not fair, that things were not balanced. I don't know if this is a person or this is a situation where for example, maybe you got a crappy deal at work. Maybe you didn't get the recognition that you know that you deserve. Maybe someone was treating you unfairly, whether that's at work, at home, in your relationship, one of your friends. And it's like somebody got away with something here. And it was like very childish, very immature energy, emotionally manipulative. And it's haunting you. And I think it's causing you to suppress who you really are and what you really want, because you're too preoccupied with how you were treated. And it's still on your mind. It's still on your mind. You can't stop thinking about it. It's keeping you up at night. It's haunting you throughout your days. Everyone around you is like, are you okay? Everyone around you is like, you're different. Do you need help? What's going on? Talk to me. I just heard those things. And Spirit is asking you to put it down. Put down your pain, put down your grief, put down the heaviness of it all. The past is the past. We can't go back and change the past. We can't move forward into the future and predict and premeditate all these, like, there's potentials for the future, but there is no definitive. And you got to really put down your pain so that you can stop being haunted by these feelings and by these thoughts that are like suppressing your vitality. I'm hearing that. It's really suppressing your vitality. It's suppressing your inner fire. It's suppressing your creativity. It's suppressing your joy and the light in your eyes. And it's putting you in a place of feeling like you need to defend yourself this month from all this pain and all this like grief and all this loss and all this manipulation and like childishness that you've been dealing with, whether you've been the one bringing this to other people or whether someone's been bringing this to you and treating you this way. Either way, if you're acting this way, if you're the one that's acting immature, if you're the one that's acting like very dominating and like not actually following through with your own plans or forming a clear plan for your dreams and like what you really want, it is suppressing the potential of it's suppressing your higher self. It's suppressing who you really are, and it's really putting off your dreams from coming true. Like, there's a lot of potential from this lesson, whether you were on the receiving end of this or whether you were the person dishing it. Like, there's a major lesson to learn in it. You have to take accountability. You have to, again, if you're the one that's dishing it, there's a need to rectify the situation, because otherwise justice is not going to be on your side. You're going to have bad karma because of what you were doing, because of what your intentions were. For your advice, you got maintain progress, and you have give back. So what I'm hearing is, regardless of what happened to you or didn't happen in the past, however someone did or didn't treat you, how you treated somebody else or you didn't treat them, the past is gone. You are here now. This message has come up for all 3 readings. Stay present. The past is gone. The future is not yet here. You only have this present moment. Drop this pain, drop this grief, like allow yourself to feel it. Don't repress it. Don't suppress it. Allow yourself to feel it. Give yourself compassion, give the other person compassion and love, and then release it and move forward. And don't be afraid to give back. If you were the person dishing it, learn from this experience and learn how to give back what you receive. Especially in this sense, it's really when you're receiving love. When you're receiving love from people, like I'm a firm believer in energy exchange and energy balance. So like, if people in your life have really been there for you, if they've been trying to tell you about yourself in a loving way, if they've been like taking care of you through all this pain and this grief, make sure you're giving back to those people. Make sure you're telling them, oh, I see you. Thank you so much for being here for me. You know what I mean? If someone's been making sure that you're eating because you've been over here so depressed, you haven't even been eating, like make sure that you take them out. You know what I mean? Make sure that you give back, you know, give people their flowers while they're still here. And you're being called to not allow this past situation, this disappointment, this grief, maybe this disappointment within yourself. You're being called not to allow this to hinder you from your progress, because this situation was necessary to teach you, to show you what you need to do better, how to recalibrate. And I feel like there's a huge lesson here in releasing pain. In releasing pain, in releasing grief. You do not need to hold on to your grief. You do not need to hold on to your pain and wallow in it and let it fester in your heart and decay your mind. No. Pain is productive when you know how to work with it. Feel it. Hug yourself. Love yourself. Give yourself those kind, nurturing words. Feel what you feel. Cry. Pour it out. Journal. Talk about it. Then release it. Because justice is trying to come in here, but it can't because you're still holding on to all this, or the lesson hasn't been learned yet, hence why you're still holding on to it. You can't. It's suppressing your progress. Yes, times are challenging. Times are challenging for a reason, to show you something, to teach you something. And if you're just going to be wallowing in what happened and in what the challenge is, and allowing it to suppress your potential, allowing it to really infiltrate your mind, like I said, infiltrate your heart, decay your mind, you're not learning anything from it. You're allowing pain to conquer and make a home within you. And that's not going to get you to your dreams coming true. You're going to miss it, or it's going to take a really freaking long time. It's going to take a really long time. And it doesn't have to be that way. It's a choice. You have a choice here to put it down, cut your losses, forgive yourself, forgive the other person, so that you can stop allowing these things to haunt you. And so that you can get out of this vibe of like being dishonorable, or just feeling like somebody dishonored you and things weren't fair. Like, karma's gonna come one way or the other. What side of it are you gonna be on? That's what I have for you guys, pile 3. I hope this helps. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Let me know how this resonates in the comments. Love you guys. Good luck.